think I have to be live in order for Cody to come on. So I'm live. I've had like my laptop fell over and it's not going on. So I'm on my phone and I don't know if I'm the right way because I have my phone turned. So if somebody could just tell me if I'm the right direction or if I'm sideways. And if I have to turn my phone around. And I don't know. I did send Cody the link. So I hope he can figure it out because I'm live. Hi, Ron. Am I the right way on the camera or am I sideways? Because I have my phone sideways. Hi, Troy. Hey, Kim. Hi, everybody. Am I facing the right way? Let me see if he's having an issue. You are right? Okay. All right, wait. Okay, so you're trying some. Okay. Sorry. So we're both having technical difficulties. My laptop fell off of my bed, hit the floor, and won't go on. And he has a Mac, and he said that Macs are not compatible with StreamYard. Oh, maybe he can go on his phone. Hold on. All right. Can you guys see me when I'm like typing? All right. Hi, Greg. After a few more apple crowns, you might be sideways. I might. Hi, Peach. Well, I have. Hey, Dan. So I think what we're doing is he is going to have to go on his phone, and I'm on my phone. My laptop took a crap. So and he has a Mac. Hey, JP, how are you? And it said StreamYard isn't compatible with Mac. So I just told him to go on his phone and download the app and then come on his phone. So we're just waiting. I'm sorry. I was so looking forward to this interview. So I hope it happens soon. I feel like I'm being watched. So in the meantime, hey Kim, we're gonna talk. I don't know what he's doing. Oh my gosh. All right, let me check on my boy. All right. Wow. There's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. I am drinking sweet tea, Turkey Hill sweet tea, and Tito's in a glass I got for my birthday. I got this from my best friend Ashley, and it holds an entire bottle of wine. But I decided that I was going to put iced tea and Tito's in it instead. So I just need a table. Tonight's not working very well. It is so yummy. So yummy. Oh, guests. Here we go. All right. Add to stream. Are you there?
I am here. I'm trying to orchestrate stuff because I had the laptop set up.
I had to like flip it. All right. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hold on, I gotta shut my door.
Okay.
So, Arizona. Let me turn my volume up. What time is it there?
It is 5:44 right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. There. Turn my volume up. How hot is it?
It is a scorching 69 degrees.
You know, it's like 24 here.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's very cold. One of the reasons I don't like New Jersey. Anyway, so I don't have anything like, I don't have an agenda, any questions lined up. I just like to, wing it. That's my
Okay.
that's my thing. I don't care what we talk about, whatever. So let's start. What I want you to do is maybe just for anybody that doesn't know you or know who you are, just maybe a little bit about yourself, and then I want to know how you, because I love the fact that you treasure hunt. And is that really what it's called, or is that just like a catchy phrase?
No, right? I treasure. Yeah, I treasure hunt.
Yeah. So you treasure hunt, but then you do ghost tours as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So I want to talk about both. So what did you get into first? How did you get into it? You were on that show with Rob. I always say his name, Ron Riggins, right?
Rob Riggle.
Riggles. I'm thinking Redskins in the back of my head, Mike Riggins. Anyway, that was hilarious. So we just start at the beginning and let's just go. We'll go from there.
Okay. Are we already live?
Yeah, we're live. Totally.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Cool. So, yes, my name's Cody Drake, and I'm the Arizona Treasure Hunter. And let's just start from the beginning. I was born March 5th, 1985 in Amarillo, Texas. I'm a native Texan and lived in Dumas, Temple, Houston. Moved to Arizona from Houston in 1993. And my father got religiously involved with gold prospecting and mining. And I was a daddy's boy, so I was along for the ride. We prospected in every single mountain range Arizona had to offer. And there was, gold panning, dry washing, metal detecting, part of all of that. And as a young boy, I would be like 8, 9 years old with a revolver on my hip, just exploring the Arizona desert. And I'd come across Native American ruins, Native American petroglyphs, old military sites, mining camps, abandoned mines, you name it. And I was exploring everything. And with that, I ran into a lot of paranormal activity along the way.
And so you weren't a skeptic, or like, were you, is that what got you into it? Is like because obviously, I mean, that's so awesome. I never thought about that concept. You're actually like, artifacts and digging up these like hundreds of year old stuff. Like, of course, we had, I don't know if you ever saw the show, but John Zappis used to do the Haunted Collector, where he would go, people would say that they have like activity happening, and he would find an item that was in the house that was causing, because it was attached to the item. So I totally could see that happening.
Yeah, sometimes things did follow me home, but not too often. But when they did, it was impressive, and Hollywood could never begin to replicate the things that happened. So, like when I joined the Army in 2008, but
thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
I am a huge supporter of our military, past, present, future, all of it. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I was United States Army Infantry, active duty, and I served in Fort Benning, Georgia, Camp Casey, South Korea, Fort Bliss, Texas, Fort Hood, Texas, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Fort Polk, and then Illesheim, Germany. So I was all over the place.
Holy moly.
And I'm 2 inches shorter for being infantry.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
And yeah, in the early 2000s, right after high school, I actually went treasure hunting in central Arizona. I was only planning to be there for 5 days. And I actually ended up finding so many artifacts in this one place. I stayed out there for 58 days and 57 nights alone in the Arizona desert.
That's insane.
And I actually have like a little show and tell here.
Yes.
I actually prepared. If you can ignore the cats, I got a couple cats
Can't
that are
ignore the
very.
cats. I did have five. Now I'm down to three, but can't ignore the cats.
Yeah, we've got a couple here. So I've got some. Oh, where's the camera on the phone?
You say
Okay,
it.
maybe
I say it.
I'll turn on the light here. Maybe you can see it better.
Yeah.
So this is a Spanish gold coin. Might be hard to make out.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. So I've got three of them. I was finding over 1,000 Spanish gold, silver, and copper coins in this one area. I had full permission from the landowners to metal detect this area, and it was a ranching family, and they just finished their fall roundup. So they weren't going to use that part of the pasture for a while. And I uncovered Spanish military artifacts, mining implements, and camp life artifacts, as well as coins. Also, flattened musket balls in the ridgeline above and broken arrowhead points in their encampment itself. So they got
That's
into
cool.
a fight of some kind.
What?
And they got into a fight of some kind. So that's how everything was lost.
Oh wow.
So yeah, when I was out there, I had my 5 days of food and I supplemented everything else with rattlesnakes, jackrabbits, mice, rats, scorpions, fish, cattail reeds, the prickly pear pads, prickly pear fruits, everything.
I probably would die.
You would not die, no.
I would die because I couldn't eat an animal. I
Aw.
couldn't eat an animal like that. Like out there, I don't know. I
I
probably would
think
die.
if it came down to it, I think you'd survive. I think you'd survive.
Um, well, as long as I could um eat like trees and twigs and stuff like that.
There's plenty of that stuff out there. There's plenty of plants. Arizona is the greenest desert in the world. You can eat every single plant in Arizona.
Wow. So maybe I would survive then.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, sure. I get it. And then if this is a stupid question, I apologize. But don't the cactus have water in them and stuff? Or is it not?
They have moisture in them, but it's not enough to keep you alive or
Oh.
supplement it in any way. Your body's going to use up more moisture breaking down that stuff than it is taking in from that stuff.
So basically, what you're saying is when World War Z happens, I'm supposed to come to Jerome, Arizona, and you're going to be the head guy that was like in The Walking Dead.
You have to come to Clarkdale, Arizona. I live right beneath Jerome.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
But
yeah.
yes,
Wherever
yeah,
you're at, I'm at.
yeah, Clarkdale, Arizona.
All right. So along the way, you had some paranormal stuff happen. I forget where we were at. I mean, everything's so interesting. All right, just go. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay, so with paranormal stuff, the creepiest story I have was the first bit of like one-on-one paranormal that I had. And I'm a skeptic that believes. I don't believe everything that happens is paranormal.
Right.
That's that's just how I am. But I was camping at the bank of this river and a storm blew in and the moon was out, but it was kept getting blocked out by the clouds rolling in. And lightning was all around. It was raining sideways and it actually started shredding my tent. And so I knew that there was an Indian ruin nearby. And so I threw my entire my entire tent in my bag, unorganized, just shoved it in there. And I took up the hill and I was heading to this Indian ruin. And I would wait for a lightning flash to illuminate the landscape. Because I've been out here so many times. I know the land, but I have to see the land to know where I'm going. So I'd wait for a lightning flash to illuminate the landscape. And then I'd walk towards the direction of the ruin on this hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I would stop and wait for another flash of the lightning, and that's how I guided my way to this Indian room. Once I was inside, it took me about 2 hours to get there, walking through the desert at night. I set up my tent inside the Indian ruin and started to go to sleep. I'm soaking wet. The wind's still just pounding, but not as bad because the walls of the ruin were protecting me. And I woke up probably a few hours later to something punching me in the face. And
Wow.
when I looked back, I could see that it was all 5 fingers of someone's hand through the nylon tent backing away. And so I grabbed my revolver and I shot right where that hand was, and it ended up catching the tent on fire point blank. And I unzipped the tent and I cocked it again, and there's no one. It's dead silent. The only light illuminating in that area was the flames from my tent behind me, reflecting off the Indian ruin walls. And as the flames slowly burnt down and disappeared, it's completely dark. There's no crickets, there's no birds, there's no nothing. It's just dead silence. And once it goes completely dark, all you hear from this one doorway to this one room in the Indian ruin was this.
Mm.
And I didn't go to sleep again that night.
I wouldn't either. Wow, that I've never heard a story like that.
That was when I realized that the paranormal is real, was that moment. Before that, I was just like, yeah, whatever.
And
Yeah.
I so 1000% believe that really happened to you.
It's
I'm not even doubting.
Yeah.
Wow. So even though you were scared, you were afraid or scared or whatever, like you're like, I didn't sleep. And I don't know if you were like scared, but like it's okay. Like the unknown scares most people, but then you just decided that you wanted more of that. You do it alone, which is interesting to me, which is why I started watching your videos, because when you on this side of things, when you go through, like, you take a class and stuff like that, and you learn, you're like trained in this and that, there's do's and don'ts. And one of the don'ts is always like, you never do that alone, right? But you do it alone. So it was interesting to me.
Yes, pretty much I do everything alone. Like, I'm out hiking alone, camping alone. I do ghost hunting stuff in the cemetery for Jerome Ghost Town Tours alone. I occasionally go out treasure hunting with a couple buddies of mine who own the brewery that I'm partnered with, Bonehouse Brewery. But for the most part, I do everything alone. Most people, when they realize what really entails with treasure hunting and being successful at it, it involves a lot of hardship, and they're not willing to deal with the bugs, the mosquitoes, the rattlesnakes, the water moccasins, the alligators, the heat, the cold, the wind, the lightning, and then they don't come back to hang out a second time.
I wonder if I could do it.
You could do it.
Probably couldn't do it.
You could.
Like, is there like things I can bring to, like, like, can I bring off?
Yeah, you can bring off. You can bring anything that would make you comfortable. Yeah.
I have to be very, I don't know. Like, how big are the animals out there?
They could be as small as this or as big as a grizzly bear. We've got grizzly bears here. We've got black bears, mountain lions, bobcats, bighorn sheep, mountain goats. We've got.
Have you ever had to, like, did you ever come in contact with anything that?
Yeah, just like driving down the road, you're going to run into stop signs, street lights. You're going to run into people that have road rage. It's no different in the wilderness. You go out there enough, you're going to run into every type of wildlife you can think of. I've run into every single type of wildlife except for Bigfoot.
That's interesting. And you're out there a lot, and you're in places that you would think maybe there would be Bigfoots around, but
yeah.
So I want to know more about the treasure hunting, though, too.
Okay, so with the treasure hunting thing, in the very beginning, before I found like the Spanish coins here, like the gold coins, I was just like most people. I bought books on signs, symbols, and Spanish buried treasure all over the Southwest, and here's how you find them. And I'd find all these signs and symbols, but I would never find a single artifact, a single relic. I would never find a single coin. And so I thought to myself, what am I doing wrong And what are the successful treasure hunters in Florida doing right? Because they're pulling up all these Spanish gold coins, and I'm out here just finding all these treasure symbols, but no treasure. And so I just got away from all of that mumbo jumbo, and now I can put gold rings in front of you. Like I'm wearing a silver ring that I just recently found with a cross on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's all kinds of things. You can find old pocket watches. Once you realize what's wrong in that industry and what's right, you should do what's right. And there is such a thing as bad information too. A lot of people follow bad information. And so when I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, there was actually a small town named Salado nearby. And I spent a year and a half river hunting, like free diving with a metal detector in their river. And I ended up pulling up it was 4,000 artifacts from their town's history in just 200 yards of their river. And sometimes I would be diving down 10 feet, 14 feet, and I was swimming with alligators, water moccasins, copperheads, you name it. They never bothered me and I never bothered them. But I found things from the Archaic period, Native American, going back thousands of years, to Spanish exploration, found Spanish musket balls, 2 crossbow bolts, and I found stuff from the Texas Revolution, the American Civil War, all the way up to the Comanche Wars, the Kiowa War, and then Prohibition. Lots of
Wow.
stuff from Prohibition, and to this very day. And
And what do
um,
you do? So you give the stuff that you find? Like, do you do you keep it? Do you like donate it to a museum? Do you give it to the town? Do you like, or does it depend on what it is?
it depends on what it is and how I find it. Now, with Salado, Texas, they had a museum called Salado Museum in College Park, and they had very few things on display that weren't even from their town. It was just from all over Texas, donated by families in Waco or Laredo or Beaumont. And so I said, hey, you have nothing from Salado, and I have everything from Salado. And I donated everything except 2 things: a high school ring and this Native American spearhead.
Oh, cool.
So I got to keep this and the high school ring from 1974 from Belton, Texas. And
Wow.
everything else I donated to the museum because it was lost in their town, it was found in their town, and it belongs in their town.
That's awesome.
And that got me on the news. The whole town celebrated me in the summer of 2019, and they put me on the news twice in Waco, Texas, and that got me on the Discovery Channel with Rob Riggle. And Rob Riggle's show got me onto 2 documentaries about treasure hunting, and I'm about to be filming another documentary here soon, which is going to air this summer. I have 3 documentaries airing this summer, and I'm going to be filmed in a Western movie this fall where I get shot by Apaches. I'm going to be the
Wow.
best death scene you've ever seen in a movie.
I bet. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now, do the two. So when you're out and you're doing your treasure hunting, and these are like, to me, they're you guys are very very smart people. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not dissing anybody or anything, but I'm sure a lot of people on that side of the fence don't take the paranormal stuff seriously. You know what I mean? Or they don't believe in it, or they just don't care, whatever. Does that ever come up when you're doing your
Yes, that comes up a lot. A lot of times, when I meet people that come to my events, because I do public speakings all the time, some people are really into treasure hunting, but they're not into metal detecting. And sometimes they're into gold prospecting, but not treasure hunting, or they're into the paranormal stuff. They come to hear my ghost stories, which are really freaky sometimes,
well,
but they don't
that
really
one
about the
you
treasure
just
hunting.
told was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, but it
Yeah,
was.
I had a
Go ahead.
front row seat to terror that night. So,
And that was your first experience.
that was my very first like authenticated paranormal experience was in that
Wow.
Indian. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That I don't even know how I would react if I had that happen to me.
So I just kind of stood there for a while, and then I sat down, and then I just stared at the ground. So
Yeah, I would have been like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to just want to go sleep.
yeah, I've actually been back there. I slept in that ruin about like maybe 8 or 9 more times since then, and it hasn't been that exact same experience since then.
No.
It's been footsteps. So imagine you're in a square Indian ruin, and no matter where along the walls you sit up or you lean up against to go to sleep, you'll hear footsteps on the other side walking up the wall, and they always stop right behind you.
Ew.
Yeah.
So you go live every Friday night, right?
In Jerome, Arizona. Yes, I do.
Yeah. He goes live every Friday night, and I've been watching his videos for a long time. Finally, I was just like, "Why don't you come on the show?" And he's like, "All right," but then I find out like all this other cool stuff, like the treasure hunting, and like I was like, "It's gonna be awesome!" Like, like it's so cool. Like everything. I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was little,
Oh,
but my mother said there's no money in that, and kind of But I think it's so cool.
oh yeah, archaeology is amazing. I was really into anthropology, and archaeology and anthropology are like hand in hand. Everything I do is pretty much archaeology without the shackles.
Right.
So, like when I was in at ASU for cultural anthropology, I went out on a few archaeological digs. One of them went to Chaco Canyon or Pueblo Bonito at Chaco Canyon in New Mexico, and I got to learn about how restricting everything is with finances, permitting, and you only have certain allotted windows. And I realized I could definitely make more money doing treasure hunting than archaeology. And with archaeology, if you find artifacts, it could sit in a desk drawer for 100 to 300 years before it's out on display. If it
Really?
doesn't, if it doesn't even lose its story of how it was found, where it was found, how it was lost. But with treasure hunting, like here's an artifact right here.
Well, you said something too. You said treasure hunting, but then you separated metal detecting and you separated gold. You said gold. What did you say? Would you call it gold
Yeah,
hunting? I
gold
guess.
prospecting. I consolidate everything together.
Well, that's what I always thought. Like I always thought, because I feel like they all go together, but people separate them.
Yeah, people separate them all the time. So people like one person could be just about metal detecting. One person could be just about prospecting for silver. Some people might be just into treasure hunting for signs and symbols. And then some people are just about, metal detecting beaches. I do beach hunting, river hunting, free diving, snorkeling. I do gold prospecting, magnet fishing, relic hunting, actual treasure hunting. And here's one thing I do, super nerdy. I translate old Spanish Castilian documents.
It's really not nerdy at all. Trust me.
It's super nerdy,
It's not.
super nerdy. So yeah, it's the old style Spanish cursive writing. It's called Castilian.
Wow.
And I don't know if you can see this, but it's from 1734.
Wow. That is so cool.
So that's what I do, and I translate stuff. I apply it with our modern maps, our modern areas, and then I get permission from the landowners, or I look up the laws for the state and federal lands, and I go out and treasure hunt, metal detect, and I put artifacts on display at museums, or I'll show them for the public. And when I do these speaking engagements, I have things on display for everyone to see. And if somebody isn't eating Cheetos, I'll put this stuff in their hands.
Yes. Yeah,
So
yeah. That is cool. Have you ever been on the East Coast?
on the East Coast, no, I have not.
It's okay. You're not missing much.
You guys have
Maybe
tons.
maybe Gettysburg, but you really can't do anything in Gettysburg. It's illegal. You can't relic hunt. You can't do anything.
I do have a friend. Her name's Marion. She lives in Gettysburg. She has one of the historical houses, and I think she has 2 acres there. But we can
What?
melt there. Yeah.
I mean, you did you think I love Gettysburg. Like, didn't you think hey, my friend Taryn? would love to come ghost hunt on your property.
I can reach out and see if she'll let you. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I can do that. I figured you had all sorts of locations.
Well, Gettysburg. Well, I do. I mean, but Gettysburg is, there's no stone I would ever not want to uncover there. So,
Yeah.
um, so question.
Yes.
So when you say metal detecting, you're looking for anything metal, right? That would, So we say prospect. Are you not using any, like anything apparatuses or any tools or anything like that to help? Like, how do you know where to go find something or where to find it if you don't have a metal detector
Well, you
or
can look
some
at,
sort of tool?
well, for gold prospecting, I'll use a metal detector or a gold pan. And I look at the ground itself. The ground tells you everything. If there's iron in the quartz, the rock, that's a gold signature. If there's black sand in the creeks, that's a gold signature. And especially if you find rocks like that have green or blue in them, that's azurite, malachite, or chrysocolla. Those are red, not red, but neon lights that scream metals are here, dig here. And so I'll take samples from that area and I'll paint it out. And if it yields nothing, I'll go further up until I do find something, and then I'll work that area.
Wow.
There's a
Like,
lot into it. I do a lot of hiking.
that's awesome though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Do you, I mean, your every Friday night, your videos, you always have like 60 or more viewers. So, I mean, are they all from like that area
They're
mostly?
from
Or,
all over the America. Yeah, I think like the largest single viewing I ever had was like 150 people at one time viewing. And that was when I had the best Marco Polo response through the Spirit Box.
really?
Yeah, for listeners that don't know, I go alone into Jerome's haunted cemetery. I ghost hunt live on Facebook, so you get to see me get scared live on Facebook. And I play Marco Polo in the most active part of the cemetery. I say Marco, the spirits say Polo, and sometimes you hear Polo spoken in 3 different voices at the exact same time, and sometimes they say your name.
Oh,
And
really?
this one time, I said like I say Marco, you say Polo, Marco, and then this like young girl's voice said Polo, like it was the clearest Polo I ever had. And then you heard right behind that a male's voice whisper, "Hi, Cody."
Wow.
And then that's when my views went. They just shot up from that moment.
That's awesome. I know. Like I watch too. Like I'll go on there and I jump on and I'm like, I don't know how it would be alone, in a cemetery. Well, see, you also think I'm from New Jersey, right? So there's not many places you want to be by yourself in New Jersey, like anywhere there's not a lot of people around or anything like that, because the real people that live in New Jersey are psychotic. So, you're more afraid of the people than you are the spirits,
Yes, yes,
you know?
100% agree.
Yeah. I wish I see now I'm on my phone. I haven't been able to share this. Usually I'll share it to my personal page and I'll share it to I don't even know where else, but I haven't been able to do that. So I don't know. I'm totally watching. Oh, everybody's saying they're gonna watch you Friday.
Oh, awesome! I look forward
Yeah.
to it.
Can you see the comments?
I can't see the views or the comments.
All right. So if somebody asks you something, I will,
Okay, there's a chat button here. I can push the chat button. Nope, that didn't do anything. Okay.
So I really am intrigued at the fact that you're so scientific, but you're also so not scientific, and like you're totally like into both. It seems. Are you into more than one than the other?
No, I'm not. I
My
consider
gosh, I'm
if
a hold on, Cody, really quick, because
okay.
all of my girls are like, "Did she just call us Jersey bitches psychotic?"
How funny.
I love you all so much. Now shut up. They're all my they're on my circle. My peaches, my circle girl. So they're
Aw.
busting my balls. But I'm a bitch too. And psychotic. So I don't know what you want from me. But anyways, I might not be a bitch, but somebody wants to know, what is the best treasure you have found?
The best treasure I have found. I'm trying to orchestrate with this kitten here.
Oh, hi, baby.
This is Willow.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Willow. Oh my gosh.
She's a sweetheart. But the greatest treasure I ever found would have to be, of course, my Spanish gold coins. I'm like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, like my. But I did find a Spanish morion, and a morion is the old Spanish conquistador helmet.
No.
I did find one of those, and I haven't found another one since then. But that was the coolest thing I ever found. The gold coins would have to be the gold coins, but not just the gold coins, but all of the 1,000 coins I found from one site. Now, to this day, archaeologists in Arizona hate me because I am the only person who has found Spanish gold coins in Arizona.
Really?
Really. And now, with saying that, I actually have had a grand total of 23 death threats in the past 4 months.
That is insane to me. When you told me that, I was like,
yeah.
Death threats? What? That's more like legit and hardcore than paranormal, because paranormal world has some drama for sure. But 23 death threats in 4 months, it's insane.
Yeah, 23 death threats, 9 death. And some people, they'll search for stuff for 20, 30, 60 years and not find anything. And then I'll get, I do a lot of reading. I do a ton of reading. I'm the biggest nerd you'll ever know. And I read at Jerome at Ghost Town Tours in between reading, and I'll find sites. I'll go metal detect, and I'll pull up rare, unique things. People hate it. I guess it's like a rivalry, and they look at me as the devil sometimes.
That is so crazy.
So if I get shot in some canyon somewhere, just play this back to remember me.
Oh my God, don't say that. Somebody said, how much would a typical Spanish gold coin be worth?
So, like the ones I have, ow, kitten. These are pretty small, about the size of dimes. And these would run about $400 each. And one of them's in mint condition, so I've never had these actually appraised.
So did you find this where did you find it?
Somewhere in central Arizona.
Okay, I'm not asking for the exact spot because I'm gonna go treasure hunt. But what I mean is, it was buried, or was it in water? Was it like, and then
No.
how'd you find it?
So, I just know how to read the landscape. So I know how to find old encampments, because people back then, like today, like to sleep on flat ground and to be protected. So like maybe up off the riverbed. If you have a steep embankment, it's good for protection in case anything or anyone wants to get at you. It's going to be complicated for them. And so if you find places like that, you should metal detect there, because people have probably camped there in the past thinking the exact same thing. And if you're close to the water, which everyone from the dawn of time until this very moment needs water to exist on this earth, even animals too, they've been using those water sources for hundreds of thousands of years, and they're there back
So you
then.
just start digging and you find it?
Yeah, well, you have to have a metal detector, and you have to have a good metal detector. There are bad metal detectors. Anything below $300 is pretty much junk. You have to get between like $300 and about $800 for a really good metal.
That's good you just said that, because somebody asked what type and kind of metal detector do you use and recommend? So you were starting to answer that.
I recommend 4 brands of metal detectors, but 2 of them are still in business today. So I use the Minelab Equinox 800 metal detector. And the two top brands that I recommend is Minelab and Garrett Metal Detector. The other two are Tesoro and White's Metal Detectors, but they're no longer in business, but their products are still for sale on Amazon and eBay. And so grab them up while you can.
Yeah, because they might. And then somebody else said, is there any treasure Cody is specifically looking for?
The Lost Dutchman Mine.
A mine?
It's a mine, and it's also a part of the Lost Dock Thorn Mine. They're about one and the same. And pretty much it's been a lost gold mine that's been missing since 1891. It's Arizona's most famous lost treasure story, lost mine story. And
how does a mine get lost? Like, don't they have like technology now where they can see earth formations and, like how does a mine get lost?
Well, one person found it. His name was Jacob Waltz. He was a German, and back in the 1800s, they called Germans Deutschman. So he's the lost Dutchman. And he found this mine being mined by 3 Mexicans, and it was a very rich gold mine. And he ended up killing all 3 Mexicans to obtain this mine. He killed 4 more people to keep it a secret. And the reason why he was killing all these people is because it's an 18-inch wide solid gold vein that ran over 20 feet into the wall. Every 3 feet today, you'd be a millionaire.
Oh, wow.
And so when Jacob Waltz passed away in 1891, he left behind very little clues of the mine, and he said he covered the mine over because he was tired of killing people for finding his mine when he just put brush over it. So he put logs on top, dirt, and then gravel, and then more rocks. So
so you think it's just like it was just getting buried over and buried over and buried over?
Yep, that's what he did. And so it's been lost all the way until today, and everyone's looking for it, but I'm going to try my luck the end of this month for about 3 to 4 days. I'm going to go up into the Superstition Mountains, see if I can't find it.
And you go by yourself?
Yep.
Is that supposed to happen? Like, do most people do that?
Most people don't, but I don't recommend going alone. If you're not really well versed in like the environment around you, knowing your strengths and limitations and your skill sets with the equipment that you have, everything comes together. Your shoes, your firearms, your hiking pack, your experience in the past all comes together to help you in your mission. So if you have a good metal detector and you know about a little bit about survival and you know that what areas you're not going to have cell reception in, you plan accordingly for that and plan to have more food than you're expected to during your trip. So that way, if something bad does happen, you have more food and water to sustain yourself until rescue can occur. But always tell people where you're going and how long you're going to be gone, and have a contingency plan. And so that's what I do. But things happen to all of us. Even the best, most experienced wilderness experts out there still have life happen to them. Accidents happen, injuries occur.
Yeah. What do you think about all these shows that are on, like the what's that one that they're looking? What is that? Oak Island.
Oh my God.
I don't watch it, but I was curious. Like,
so I think Oak Island is it's a great show. It's really entertaining, but I don't think there's anything there.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
The guys on that show, The Curse of Oak Island, have reached out to me 4 times in the past 2 months to be on their new TV show, Beyond Oak Island.
Are they giving up on Oak Island and they're gonna start looking for something else?
Yep, they're expanding.
Yeah. And you didn't want to do that?
Well, I told them a couple lost treasures I'm going after, and they wanted something to make a new show about, and I didn't want my projects being rewarded to other people who are just coming on at the very last minute when I'm finding all stuff, and then they make their own show about it. No, I'm not.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh,
That's awesome. Hold on.
yeah.
There's wood and nails. Somebody's saying, yeah, there's just wood and nails. Um, I've seen some. I had a. I can't even read. Oh my god, so far away. Um, I had a. I'm probably gonna say this, Mind Lab Excalibur. I now have a Garrett.
Nice, nice.
Um, Somebody said, "What's the most expensive treasure you've ever found?"
Well, that would probably be the artifact of the Morian, the Spanish helmet. If I had kept that, I could probably sell that for around $50,000 today, just
Mm-hmm.
from that one artifact. And I sold that in the 2000s. And yeah, I wish I had kept that. Sometimes when I find things, there's collectors for it. And so the reason why I have all this stuff is because I find it legally. I find it on private property with full permission of the landowners or on state or federal lands under the complete permission of the government. So,
So if you're on somebody's land, do they say, "Well, if you find anything, I want a percentage"?
yeah, I'll say, we can split everything 50-50. That's what I normally say. And if the land is harder to obtain, but there's something really important there, I'll say, okay, how about 75 for you, 25 for me? But whatever deal you make with the landowner on private property, whatever deal you make, there's no local, state, or federal agency has any say in what happens to what you find in the agreement you landowners strike.
Hmm.
Because America is owned by the people of this nation. We're not owned by the government. We're owned by the people.
Right.
And as we can keep America free like that, we can enjoy freedoms.
Amen.
Yeah,
So a lot of people are missing lately, but we're not going there.
I'll probably get like 2 more death threats from that statement, right? Probably get shot.
What if you say you didn't wait? What if you don't say you found it there? Oh, somebody just said we were until Biden. There's a lot of conservative Trumpers on here, so you're safe to say that stuff.
Thank you.
But um, so you're into a lot of stuff.
Yes,
A
I'm
lot of
into
cool
a lot
stuff. All right, so what do you think about American Pickers?
those guys are pretty cool. They see things in things that other people's eyes would roll right over.
1,000%. I say
Yeah,
it all the time. Like I love antiques. I have a few antiques, and they go into places, and I'm like, where'd they get that for? You know what I mean? It's like here they'd be like $900 off of it. I was like, that was me, I'd walk right past. I had no idea. You know, I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. I just think
yeah,
if it looks cool, I take it.
yeah. They got a really cool business. There's a market for everything out there, and there's actually like one of the greatest businesses in America is like American Pickers, but they get everything for free. It's called Goodwill,
Yeah.
and they sell all the stuff that's given to them for free at a price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
there's a market for everything.
Somebody said, if you could hunt anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's 3 answers right there. First off, I would hunt the southeastern coast of Florida because that's where the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet went down, and the south coast of Florida, that's where the 1622 and 1633 Spanish treasure fleets went down. And I'm good friends with 2 of the major players in the treasure salvage operations in the Florida coast. So that's where I would go first. And then second would be Panama. And then third would be Cuba. I would go to Havana.
Wait, what did you say right before that?
Panama.
Oh, and then you said
Cuba.
Cuba. But are there certain things you're looking for, or you just know the history and think?
Well, I know the history, And I have the manifest of a couple of Spanish treasure galleons off the coast of Panama that have not been salvaged. And treasure salvers have not been able to get permitting, but I think I could. Think I could. You have to play your cards right in that field. And then in Cuba, there's the Cuban treasure salvers are only after gold and silver, like just the precious metals. But if you they don't care about the cannons, they don't care about the guns or the unique items. They just throw them right back in the water. And if you were to go find some of those cannons and bring them to America, like one of those Spanish cannons could fetch like $80,000, $100,000.
Wow.
And so that's what I would do. And as long as you reach an agreement with the foreign countries, usually it's honored. I had a buddy who was in the Dominican Republic, and he actually uncovered a lot of treasures from a Spanish galleon in the Dominican Republic. And he got to keep, I think it was 44%, and then the rest went to the Dominican government. So
Yeah.
sometimes you take a loss, but you're still winning.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're getting to treasure hunt, you know?
Yeah.
To me, that's like a win right there. But that's like, um, so my friend Kim had a really good, she said, do you have any activity from keeping the items in your home?
Sometimes I think it's hard to really pinpoint what activity is attached to what item because I have so many artifacts and relics here. But I have a couple of pieces that are from battles, massacres, or like my latest art is actually a torture victim. So I'm sure things that
Really?
help to stuff.
My friend just said she liked you. You're smart.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Nerd. I'm just a big nerd.
No, you're not. Stop saying that. This is really cool stuff. So, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get out. If I do something with this video, I'm not meaning to because I'm using my phone. I normally don't use my phone. So,
Yeah, I was really bummed that it didn't work on the laptop.
I know. So you're on your phone too. I was
Yeah.
like, that's why I was telling you, just go on your phone because, yeah, you have a Mac. I was telling everybody. So, what was because the first experience you've ever had probably would have been my scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you say would be your is that the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
That was probably the most scariest, but I don't think I have it. There was another thing, a little bit not as creepy, but it happened in Jerome, inside of the old high school. Was taking a group of people ghost hunting inside of the auditorium, and I had an SLS camera that I use every Friday. It's my personal SLS camera, and I stuck it in the attic, and we caught a figure in the attic, and then the figure disappeared. And whenever time it disappeared, I talk on the spirit box to my guests that were beneath me. I was standing on a ladder, and the figure disappeared, and then it said, "Get out."
Mm.
And then the figure disappeared, and it's pointing, and then it disappears, and then it says, "Get the F out."
Really?
And then it reappeared, but it was closer, and it said, it disappeared, and it said, "Cody, leave."
Wow.
And then something slapped. Ghosts love slapping me in the face. And something hit my face and then hit the ladder, and then it slapped the wooden floor of the gymnasium. And so when that happened, all my guests screamed, and by the time I got down from the ladder, all my guests were out of the high school and already in the shuttle.
Are you serious?
They were done. They left me with that thing in the attic.
Oh wow.
When I picked up the thing that hit me in the face, it was about a 4-inch tall wooden crucifix.
Wow.
That came from the darkness of the attic from somewhere. And I left it there for a few days, and then I brought it home.
And then you just brought it home?
Brought it home. Yeah.
Has anything happened? Has anything happened since?
It's hard to say. It's
But
sometimes.
like, have you noticed like different things happening once you brought it home?
No, but I I have a 200-year-old plantation desk, and so sometimes. Oh, there's Willow. Hi, Willow. You're famous now.
Oh
So
my god.
sometimes this thing will actually trying to get the camera just right. This thing will open on its own and swing open,
Uh huh.
and I have to like walk over there and close it again.
Oh, that's cool. Um, my peaches are wondering that we should probably take a road trip to Arizona to do an investigation at your house.
Yes, we could do that. It's Willow. We could definitely do that.
So yeah, so my friend said, do you worry about your family being possibly affected by things you bring home?
No, not really.
And then I'm thinking he may like being slapped. And then all my peaches are saying, yes, I'm in. Let's go. We all want to come to Arizona, apparently.
Well, Arizona is a gorgeous place, and Jerome is just a few miles away. Jerome's an incredibly haunted place. There's an old stagecoach stop right. It's about like 400 yards from the house here, and we could metal detect that. There's an old cemetery back there. That's Jerome's Pioneer Cemetery. It's 10 times bigger and 10 times more haunted than the one I do lives with in Jerome. Maybe I'll do a Facebook Live in that cemetery this Friday.
That'd be cool.
I could do that.
So many things in Arizona dying to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Grand Canyon? Have you been there?
I've been to the Grand Canyon twice in my life. Once when I was little and I don't remember it, and then the second time was in 2015. It's a pretty cool place. Um, the north rim of the Grand Canyon, I think, is the most beautiful. There's a lot of elk, there's a lot of wolves, and there's so much wildlife there. And there's great trails that take you down into the canyon itself.
That's cool.
But I don't know if it's haunted or anything. I didn't spend enough time there to know that.
No. Then I remember when I went, there was a cemetery. I didn't even know there was northwest, southeast. Like I went for half of a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um and really bummed about that. Like I want to go back out because the Grand Canyon was just fantastic. Like I've had besides Gettysburg, like that is like the most breathtaking place I've ever been. And like I said, I was only there for half a day. So I didn't get to see the sunset. Like I heard that was a thing to see the sunset while you're there. And I don't even know where I went, but we just stopped at a couple of places along one side of it, or even probably only a quarter, I guess. I don't know. So I know I didn't see all of it, but I
Okay.
definitely want to go back out to do it.
Yeah, I don't know which part I went to in 2015, but there was elk everywhere, all over the side of the road, just laying down next to the road.
That's so cool.
And lots of people. There was tons of people.
Really?
Yeah, it was hard to find a parking spot.
Well, and you could also, I heard they're really expensive though, but like, I guess you could like horseback down into the.
Oh yeah.
So when I went though, I was trying, I had a really good camera, not good enough, but I mean, good enough, but it wasn't like excellent. And I was like zooming in, I could zoom in, I could see these like ranches down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's like how, and when I say ranches, I mean like, like a ranch, like a house, it looks like, but I don't know if they're occupied, but um, I still wanted to go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's incredible that they're down there.
I
Crazy.
know. I don't know if anybody lives there. I think somebody they do though. I don't know, because there was like there's water down there, and then there's I think somebody was telling me now. I don't know if they were telling me the truth, but they were saying that there's solar panels like for electricity and stuff down there and everything. Because I said, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, those are solar panels." And I don't know if I was just saying like, "Okay," or if it was true. So, um, so how was it to be on the show. I don't know. I mean, that was the first time I saw it when you sent me the link for, the Discovery show with, I'm going to say it wrong, Ron Riggles, right?
Rob Riggle.
I don't know
Rob,
why I can't. I don't.
strike
Yeah,
two.
I can never say it right. So how was that? Because that was really funny.
That was the time of my life. That was such a blast. Like, I didn't want for anything. As soon as I arrived and I met the film crew, Rob Riggle was already in his cowboy garb, and we were in Tombstone, and they just filmed the gunfight scene when I met Rob Riggle for the first time. And we were all at dinner, and everyone's just hanging out, having a good time. And when we were filming, even if I was like halfway done with the water bottle, somebody was running up with a brand new ice cold water bottle.
Oh wow!
If I just opened up a bag of chips, somebody brought me a brand new bag. Or
So
like
somebody was on Cody Drake duty. There was somebody
yeah,
just like watching you.
like I could get used to this.
It was hilarious. I was cracking up the whole time I was watching it. When he was like, make it dramatic.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's 10 miles through the Arizona desert. He's like, Cody, it's a TV show. And bump it up a bit. I was like, okay, 48 miles for the Arizona desert.
Was that rehearsed or were you guys just winging it? It literally looks like you were winging it, but
Everything was winged. Like, we were winging everything, but everything was filmed like 10 times over.
gotcha.
And yeah, it was impossible to keep a straight face with Rob Riggle next to you.
I I I was like cracking up watching it.
When he takes
He's
the knife
so funny.
song with it, knife fire.
Yes,
Man. Rob.
that's so funny. Somebody said, have you ever been injured while treasure hunting?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I've been stung twice by scorpions. I've broken my ribs a few times by falling. I've
My
sprained
goodness.
rolled my ankles. I've been hit in the head probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 times by falling rocks inside of mines and on hillsides. I've slapped my face against a rock when, like, my footing was lost and I try to grab something and the closest thing is a rock to my face.
Oh my gosh.
So things happen, definitely, but I go slow and I just notice my surroundings. Everywhere I go, I'm looking for rattlesnakes. No matter what I'm doing or where I'm at, I'm looking for rattlesnakes and I'm walking slow and I just keep a calm, cool, level head, take notice of the surroundings around me, and just move forward, one step in front of the other. Try to minimize the accidents that could happen because the smallest little accident could cause injury or death.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is why you go by yourself. It's like not good.
Yeah,
What
you've
do you
got to.
do when you like get really injured or something?
Yeah, you have to rely on your own ingenuity. So like I'll rely on my time in the military for we called it lifesavers course, like combat lifesaver course. It's like the equivalent of being Red Cross certified, but with battle wounds, like compression gauze, quick clot, tourniquet, needle chest decompressions, and the nasal pharyngeal. And so I don't know a lot about medical stuff like you do because you're the medical person, but I know enough to seal a bullet wound to get to a hospital.
Well, I mean that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And I know how to make a splint and a crutch if I need to, but I try to go as slow as possible. Not like snail's pace to be annoying, but I do take my time and I look at everything around me, and that helps me with treasure hunting. That helps me find campsites, water sources, and identify threats too. So
Identify what?
threats, like,
Oh,
because you will run into wolves, mountain lions, coyotes, bobcats. You will run into all that. Most dangerous animal in the world is another human being.
right. Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I always look out for people, and I run across all kinds of people: yoga instructors, Boy Scout troops. I'll run into hippies. I'll run into leaders of demonic cults out in the desert. I'll run into everything out there. And I've actually run into more yoga people than I have and hippies than I have treasure hunters in the Arizona desert.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever like encountered anybody that was threatening as a
Yeah.
person?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So in Wickenburg, early 2000s, around 2006, that was a really bad time for the prospecting claims around Wickenburg. And I would wake up with items missing from my camp where they came in at night and stole them. And I would wake up with the clean handprint marks of on my truck where somebody looked in at night and did this and like looked at me sleeping. And I had a dog named Hunter that would alert me one morning when I was getting water and I lit up a cigarette because I used to smoke a lot. I used to smoke a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
I smoked a chain smoker. I used to be a chain smoker. Um, and he was barking at this hill next to me, and there was this homeless guy sitting down with his arms around his knees, and he was just like smiling and laughing, but breathing really heavy as if he was about to run or just got done with running. And then he smiled and stood up. And that's when I grabbed my rifle and I said, "What are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he smiled, kept breathing heavy, just and then he walked over the hill and I never saw him again.
He saw that gun. He was like, I am out.
Yep. So you got to be prepared because, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but it's better to like hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Right.
So like if you carry a firearm, you hope that you never need it, but it's a tool. Eventually you're going to need a hammer.
Right.
So you never know when you're going to need it.
So, but you kept saying about though, like with all the things that you just said, you said that you're always just looking for rattlesnakes.
Always. They're everywhere. And even in our winters, sometimes they don't hibernate. It's called like brumation. They don't really hibernate. So if there's a warm day in
Me too,
December,
Kim.
they could actually come out of their holes and warm themselves on the rock. Especially if
Really?
it's like a warm January, they could be out. I've already seen 3 rattlesnakes since January. 1 in Jerome and then 2 down here in Clark.
Wow.
So.
So when you go out and you say you go slow, like how many hours are you out there? And what times do you go? Do you go when it's like when the sun's going to be blaring? You go like in the middle of the morning, like
It depends. If it's the summertime, I will leave as early as possible and I'll hike in the night before and set up camp, or I'll hike in early in the morning before the sun rises. I won't hike out in the middle of the day to go to a site to camp. Use much moisture and energy. But in the wintertime, it doesn't matter. I'll just go whenever I have time.
wow. So how many hours?
It's hard to say. Sometimes I do like if I have a ghost tour in Jerome at 11 a.m. and then I have a gap all the way until 7 p.m. In that middle time, I'll come home, feed the dogs, or let them out get to go to the bathroom, and then I'll go treasure hunt for like 4 hours. And then I'll come back just in time to lead people on a ghost hunt of Jerome's Haunted Cemetery.
Wow.
And then sometimes, like this Saturday or this Sunday, I'll be spending all day at a site. I'll be scouting for a treasure hunting trip. And at the end of this month, I'll be doing a camping trip in the Superstitions.
You're going to read these comments after this. My girlfriends are being bad. Let's just say you're a hit. I love it. I'm running. So one of them said, I'm running an RV, Peaches road trip to Arizona for a ghost hunt in Jerome.
There's a place in Jerome where you can park the RV.
Oh, really?
There is, right behind the fire station.
Well, Arizona is definitely somewhere where I want to go for sure. Do you love ghost hunting or treasure hunting? I think you love treasure hunting more.
I do love treasure hunting more. Ghost hunting's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun when you're ghost hunting while you're treasure hunting. So when you're in these historical sites that no one's been to in 50, 70, 100 or more years, and you're uncovering these rare artifacts from that time period, and you have ghost hunting equipment with you, it's like, oh.
Now, do you go prepared to maybe do that? Like,
Well, now
do you bring a recorder? Do you bring like ghost hunting equipment along with your treasure hunting stuff?
like this Sunday, I'll bring the SLS camera with me because I'll be going inside of a small cave that used to house captives from the Apache Wars. And I'm going to see what's in there. And I'll bring a spirit box with me because I have these tools available to me now that I didn't have at my disposal beforehand years ago.
Right.
So I didn't
Do you
even know.
ever go live when you do your treasure hunting?
Most of the time I don't, but I'm about to. I've been thinking about that for like over a year now. If I should go live in certain locations. I should do like a Facebook Live every week for treasure hunting on the Arizona Treasure Hunter page just to talk about treasure, and then occasionally do lives on sites where I have cell reception. That's what I've been thinking about doing.
Mm.
I haven't started it yet, but I've been thinking about it.
So, would you not do it because you don't want people? I mean, like the places that you go, is this like known in your like community of um, treasure hunters? Like the places that you go, is this also place like? So what I'm saying is, if you went live, are you like giving secrets away of where stuff is at, or?
No, no. I'll go live with the background being like nothing anyone could figure out where I'm. So no one could apply terrain association and be like, oh, he's by the Verde River. So I've already thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the
But
places.
is that something that why you wouldn't have gone live? Because you've been thinking about it. What was some of the reasons why?
A lot of places I go to, there's no cell reception or it's very bad cell reception. So if I went live, it'd probably.
Oh, that's true. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that. Well, I hope you do a live treasure hunt. I definitely love your live ghost hunts. I mean, I think they're really good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And Cody sent me a shirt. I was supposed to wear it, but it didn't come in time.
Didn't come in time. Do tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what will happen. But once I get it, I'll put it on. I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you so that you can, represent in New Jersey.
Hell yeah.
So really quick, just I feel like there's so much more to talk about, but I've already had you for an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, we can do another too if you wanted.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Okay.
Sure. Just give a rundown of like this where stuff you do, where people your websites or whatever your Facebook, and things that you're involved with or coming up, anything.
Well,
Plug.
if you wanted to find or like if you wanted to know how to find me on social media, you could go to Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube and just type in the Arizona Treasure Hunter. And every Friday I post a lost treasure story of Arizona. And on Facebook and Instagram, every I'll post finds that I've discovered while treasure hunting or relic hunting. And I'm going to start doing more YouTube videos here coming up. And if your viewers actually want to watch my TV episode, maybe I'll post the link in the comment section with the code so everyone can watch it for free.
Yeah.
Let's try that. I'll try to do that. And I'm on 2 documentaries that are coming out this summer. I'm going to be working on another one coming up, and I'm going to be shot by an Apache this fall while being in a movie.
What movie?
I don't know yet, but it's going to be the best death scene. I'm going to get an Academy Award for best murdered scene ever.
I think everybody watching will vote for you, for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Well, then we'll have to plan our next date for sure, because you'll have to come on again. And then wait, didn't you tell me you were going to be somewhere like Rhode Island-ish or New York-ish or something?
Yes, there's a thing called Pound the Ground, and it's with It's kind of like Woodstock of the metal detecting world. And since I'm sponsored by Calico Metal Detectors, I was actually on a podcast with them earlier this morning.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, so you're my second podcast of the day.
Oh man, so seconds. One. One.
But it's called Pound the Ground, and the what do they call it? The crew members of these sponsored companies go to this place and they promote the hobby of relic hunting and treasure hunting. And they find all these rare, unique artifacts, relics of the past, and you get to try out new metal detectors, test new equipment. It's a lot of fun, and I don't think there's like, I think it's like a 2-day event, 3-day event, but I know it's in Rhode Island. Last year they canceled it because of stupid COVID.
Ugh. So much
And
of our stuff has been canceled because of COVID.
no, COVID.
Yeah.
So, but this year the owner who's doing Pound the Ground is coming out to Arizona to meet me to do a video and an event here with me in Arizona. And he's talking about doing another Pound the Ground over there in Rhode Island this year, as long as COVID doesn't ruin this year like it did last year.
I know. So it's like a big con, like a big. So do you have to be a treasure hunter, or
No, you can be a treasure hunter, a relic hunter, or just interested in it. Like you could just be like someone who's never done it before, but you want to see what it's like for those who have done it for a long time, and like get tips and tricks from those who have been in that field for a long time. And it's a good crash course for them for success. It's a really cool event. I wish I could have done it last year. I was
I was gonna say,
sponsored by
is it?
White's Metal Detector,
Oh,
but they just sold Garrett Metal Detectors, and now I'm sponsored by Calico and Bonehouse Brewery in Fountain Hills. If you go to Fountain Hills, go to Bonehouse Brewery. All my artifacts are on display in their brewery. It's so cool.
really?
Yeah,
Do they have good beer?
they have amazing beer. I'm not a beer guy.
Are you just saying that?
I'm a whiskey guy. I love Jameson Irish whiskey. And
Have you tried? Oh, you do. You like Irish whiskey? I don't know. I told you about Bird Dog. Have you tried Bird Dog yet? If you like Irish whiskey, you might not like Bird Dog.
I haven't tried Bird Dog yet.
You have to try it.
I'll try it. But like the brewery, I love their beer. They have a prickly pear beer that's amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really good.
I think. Do they ship? We should probably we could get some. What is it?
I think they ship. I'll have to ask Keith. He's the owner, and he's my treasure hunting partner when I go out. When he gets time to come up from Fountain Hills, we go treasure hunting together. And I'll reach out to him to see if they ship. I think they do ship, actually.
Hold on. What about peach schnapps?
Don't know. Like, do I like peach schnapps?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think she is. She's being. I'm not gonna. I read that without thinking about who it came from, so I know what she means by that. We can go past that question. So he said Bird Dog is strong. My friend Megan said loves prickly pear margaritas when I lived in that show. So my friend lived in Arizona and she had prickly pear margaritas.
Okay. I love prickly pear margarita. I could make
Yeah.
the best pineapple margarita you've ever had in your life.
You?
Me.
I have to try that.
We can go treasure hunting, ghost hunting, and I'll make you the best damn pineapple margarita ever.
So we would be hunting all day. We'd be hunting like ghosts and treasures, and then pineapple margarita at the end of the day.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Sold.
I'm sold. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I know everybody's probably gonna be mad that we're getting off so early, but we will plan another time for you to come on.
Thank you. I had a blast. I would love to go on for hours and hours and hours, but yeah. I'd love to go on for like a part 2 if that was available.
No, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure. What time is it at your place? So it's like 7 there, right?
Yeah, I've got a 9 o'clock ghost hunt in the cemetery. I got to scare some tourists at 9 p.m. tonight.
So you got to go get ready.
I live just like 8 minutes away from Jerome. I got time.
So when you do those things though, do you go live during those, or you just go live Friday night?
Nope, just Friday nights for about an hour.
Yeah. Why don't you go longer than an hour?
My cell phone doesn't last that long.
I keep
My,
forgetting those parts. Like,
my
duh.
cell phone's energy can only last an hour. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. And 4, wait, me 2, 3, and 4. I can't. Um, oh yeah. So, but you never go live when you do what you're gonna do tonight. So you're taking people out on a tour.
Yeah, I'm taking them out on a tour of the town to ghost hunt. I think it's 2 or 3 people, and I let them just explore the cemetery in the dark at night with the ghost hunting equipment.
So are these people that are visiting from like out of
Yes,
state?
yeah, they're mostly out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you the only one that does the tours, or there's other people?
there's other people. I'm just the head tour guide, and there's
Are
other
people
great.
like, I want Cody Drake to be my tour guide?
You can demand that.
Yeah. Do people do that?
People do that all the time. Not all the time. I just sounded so conceited.
It's okay.
They do that probably like once a month.
You're right.
Because I'm a loser. I don't get it every day.
Oh, stop. All right, so we'll have to plan another time for you to come on. Everybody loved having have you ever? Oh, I have so many questions, but we'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
Okay.
But you have to get ready for your ghost tour and everything. And keep in touch. As soon as I get my shirt, I will send you a pic, and then uh, we'll talk so we can get you on again.
Okay. I like that very much. Yeah. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
This was the best podcast ever. Like the best one. Number one.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I hope I didn't, cut you off too much or ask stupid questions.
No, not.
All right, Cody, I will talk to you. Thank you so much. Have a good time tonight.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you.
All right. I'll see you later. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.